So I have a couple of videos of me practicing today, and I want to ask you if you talk to yourself while you practice. Sometimes that helps if you can remind yourself of different things you want to remember at different points during whatever you're trying to put together. But today is Tuesday, and that means it's a Beethoven on the ukulele day, and I have to put out the video. So I started practicing this page early this morning. I got up about 5:30. And I'm going to film it probably early in the morning and then write the email and do the video editing and hopefully complete that all this morning. All right, so for me, there are 3 tricky bits in page 14 of the score of the second movement of the Pastorale Symphony, transcribed for solo ukulele. This is page 14 of the second movement. So the tricky bits are right there. So I have to stretch from the 2nd fret to the 8th fret. That's really not much of a stretch, being a guitarist. On a tenor uke would be more, but on a concert uke it's not too bad. This is kind of tricky because I have to remember to come in to the 3rd fret of this note with my pinky finger and then 3rd finger here, so that can set me up for the G7 chord right there. And then this is actually devilishly hard, but it's about the only way I could figure out how to play it and come up with a fingering that potentially would be super smooth. So this would be 4th, pulls to 1st, to 3rd, and then I use my 2nd finger on the 1st fret right here. That sets me up for this ornament with the other fingers down. So I always tell my students, if you're going to learn something that's a big project, you better make sure you like the music because you're going to be playing it a lot. So that's true with Beethoven, but obviously love the 6th Symphony of Beethoven, so it's not really a big deal for me to practice it over and over again and practice different spots. But let me show you those things again on the uke, and maybe we can make the videos match up. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, the first thing that's really tricky on page 14, measure 95, is this stretch. But as you can see, stretching from the 2nd fret, 3rd string, that D, all the way up to the F on the 1st string, 8th fret, 2 to 8, that stretch, not really a big deal on a concert uke anyway, and a soprano uke could be super easy. Tenor uke, it would be a little more of a stretch, but it's negotiable for most people, I think. Okay, so the next thing was in measure 98 into the 3rd beat of that measure. So I'm playing this figure. Then I have to go use the 4th finger on the B flat. See, 4th finger, and then 3rd finger on the B over here. So that chromatic move. B flat to B, and that sets me up for the G7 chord. That's the only way to do it, is you have to use a pinky finger there and then 3rd finger to go into the G7. Okay, then that last one, this is like the devil. This is going to be, I'm going to have to do this one extra. Just this move right here, which is at the end of measure 1, or no, the end of measure 99 into 100. This is a descending B flat major arpeggio. So I'm doing it like that. So instead of putting the B flat right there on the 10th fret, 3rd string, I'm bringing the B flat down to the 1st fret of the 1st string with my 2nd finger. So it's 4, pulls to 1, 3, 2, and then that sets me up for this chord right here. Yeah, so that's extra tricky, and I'm gonna have to do that several times to get that one smooth. So like that. Yeah, the other thing about that, the other issue about that is that the B flat, I'm playing with my 2nd finger, and during this move, I have to sustain it until the last part of the 1st beat, till the 3rd, 8th note of the 1st beat. So. All right, so it's about 9:30 in the morning. I practiced that for about a half hour earlier and just hit it a couple of spots now. And so I'm ready to do the take, and I'll tell you, this is what I've got so far. Kind of talk through it. So we're starting with the pickup, the anacrusis into measure 95. Big stretch from 2 to 8. To the B flat chord. Melody on the 4th string. G minor chord, deceptive cadence, nice. Fourth finger, G7 to C. This tetrachord shape, F chord. And this big bad boy, still, that might have to be as good as it gets today. Yeah, so it's mostly there except for this damn part. And that's just awkward. So probably just take that part and isolate it over and over again is a good idea. It's a good practice strategy for you too. So when you have something that's hard, isolate and loop that part around. So in this case, it's this part. So like that. B flat chord. And then also getting out of it is kind of tricky because it's like, oh, I did the hard part and now you stumble over what's easy afterwards. So it's a challenge. Anyway. So I hope that was helpful to have a glimpse into my process. If you want to get tablature for what I'm playing here or for any of the pages of the Beethoven Pastorale Symphony that I put out already, go ahead and get on my email list by clicking a link somewhere down below in the video description here. And I also should mention that I do give ukulele lessons in the Denver area and via Skype and Zoom. So if you're interested, look for a link down below and get in touch with me. All right, everybody have a great week. I think that's going to be as close as I'm going to get it today. That one was hard, that little thing. That's tough.